Hello, Betty AZ family. How are you guys doing? I hope everybody is doing fine. And for me, I am doing great. And I've decided to do this video by this Christmas tree so that I can remind you that it is that season again. Yes. So guys, today I want to talk about something that happens a lot in Africa. Yes, I want to touch us Africans and I want to touch us in a very deep way. So please get something that you can get a chilled drink or chilled water. When I say chilled drink, I don't mean alcohol. I mean you can get some water and you root a stool and sit down right here. You pull the stool or your chair, sit down, watch this video to the end because I'm about to share something deep. And also feel free to share this video, feel free to like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Guys, I get so excited when I see videos, that video with a lot of thumbs up. It just tells me that yes, Betty, you talked something good. Can you imagine when you do a whole complete video of 30 minutes and you don't get a any thumb up? It just makes me feel like, was I talking something? Even you saw thumbs up and comments makes me feel like, okay, I was talking sense. I was talking to my friends. You guys are still there. So I appreciate you for watching and I appreciate those thumbs up. And also, please don't forget to like and share and also subscribe to this channel. If you're watching this for the very first time, you haven't subscribed, or if you've been watching these videos and you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe. Consider subscribing here because here is where you get raw information, real talk, the way it is. Everything that happens in our lives, you find it here at Betty AZ YouTube channel. And let me tell you, this is your number one channel, yes, in the whole world. You have to believe in yourself. You believe you're giving the best. You believe you're the best. It's good to know that you are the best. You're the best. So guys, now today I say this topic is going to be deep and I don't want people to think, oh, Betty, now you're being judgmental, or Betty, you're blaming us Africans. I'm an African myself, and the reason I'm saying African is because we have these things that happens in Africa, and sometimes they get me thinking, oh my God, is it too hard for us to follow the rules? Is it too hard for us to listen to our to our inner the voice in there? And is it too hard for us to take safety precautions serious, or what happens? There are so many deaths that happens in Africa that shouldn't be happening. Yes, that is deep right there, right? Because I said it. Yes, there are so many things that happens that shouldn't be happening. Okay, number one, before I take this video marathon, let me say something. I was watching a clip, a very sad clip, and it took me few days for me to be able to watch that whole entire clip. So it's about this bus. Is it Mwingi bus? This bus that had an accident back in Kenya, and this driver drove this bus on a very slippery, wet road. I think that the river had overflown or something, but it was messed up road. And the driver drove these people across this bridge. The bridge was in a very bad shape. You could tell chances of that driver driving from one corner to the end of that bridge was like 2% survival chance. And you know what? All these people, I don't think they had, like safety jackets. I don't think they had anything. And I'm not here to blame the driver. I am not here to blame anybody. I am just here to say it was sad to see that bus go. For me, when I decided to watch that video, I said, oh my gosh, oh my God, I can't believe this driver is gonna risk these people's lives. I can't believe there are people sitting in a bus waiting for their lives to go down in this river. And before I know it, that bus took a flipped and it went straight in the river. And all the, like most, the people that were in the bus, some were saved, some came out, survived, and some of them did not. And a lot of people, and I heard that there are so many people that came from one family. Is it 11 people from one family? And so many people lost their lives, like a whole choir. So many people lost their life because of this accident. And it is not this Mwingi, only this Mwingi, is it Mwingi? If I'm saying it wrong, maybe, you guys can check it out on Google, Facebook. You can check that clip because I don't have that clip here. But one thing I want to say is, when I watched this, it gave me those goosebumps. It gave me the fear, because I was like, oh my God, OMG, why did this happen? I was having a lot of, I felt so angry. I didn't know whether to blame the driver. I don't know whether to blame the people. But you know what? I'm not here to make things worse as it is. And may all those people who died in that road accident, may their souls rest in peace. And I hope these things will not continue to happen, because a lot of times people blame the government. I read the comments on those clips, and I was like, some people people blame the government. And yes, we know that our government don't fix all the roads. The roads are not like here in America, like most part of the, almost everywhere in America, the roads are good, but it doesn't happen that way in Africa. Some of the roads are messed up. But listen, the government is not responsible for your own safety or for your own life. Some of the things need us to think, need us to have, to use our that voice in us, also to use our brains. And that's why I say this video is going to be deep, because when I say we need to use our brain, some people may say, oh, Betty, now you're starting to insult us. No, we need to be very, very take safety precautions very careful. You have to look ahead of the things and say, you know what? I don't think, I am not going to risk my life just to attend a wedding or just to attend an event. You could tell. And you know what made me sad is there were so many other cars using the same route. And I'm telling you guys, this bridge was all messed up. Not just that, just the accident. There are so many accidents that have happened in Africa, and you see death caused by ignorance. People who are very ignorant, people don't take life serious. Like now, for example, I remember years ago, there was a bad accident that happened. A truck flipped over, like rolled over, like a fuel truck. Guess what people did? They came with their jerrycans, with those mitungi. They started getting fuel. I know sometimes we blame the poverty. People say, oh, because they are poor, or, poverty. No. How can you go to get fuel out of a truck that has flipped over? You are not even thinking about the people, the driver and the co-driver, the people who have that accident. Some people don't even think of going to save their lives. Some people think about, oh my God, I have to get whatever I have to get for me to get this fuel. We see these accidents where even alcohol trucks, they flip over, and guess what? Big accident has happened. This alcohol truck has rolled, and people are not even worried about the people involved in the accident. People are worried about how much alcohol they can grab and run. Not just that, even food trucks, even so many things. People they put behind their safety. They put behind their lives. They don't care about their lives. They see that thing they can benefit from. And it is so sad, and it breaks my heart that these things are they continue to happen day in, day out. And the reason I'm saying in Africa is because here in this country, in America, If you are a bus driver and decide to drive people across a messed up bridge like that, then oh my goodness, you are lucky. If you survive as a driver, then you'll be sued. You will be sued, or that company will be sued by the people. People don't mess around here with their lives like that. If I know accidents happens in this country, but there are those accidents that people, you look at and you say, oh my God, like seriously. Here, if you see a truck having an accident, people don't go there to run and start, like risking their lives for what? You can see this is a fuel truck. Why are you going to get that fuel or gasoline? Yes, you are trying to get as much gasoline as you can. And then what happened to that truck? It was years ago. I can't remember which town it was, but I remember me coming from Kampala. The days I used to go to Kampala, I used to see that spot where they had so many graves or where that accident happened, and it burnt. So many people were burnt, like Ililipuka. That truck just burnt, and oh my God, a lot of people didn't even survive. And then it's a lot that happens in Africa. You see, sometimes people start riding these motorbikes. They don't even go for training. They start riding motorbikes because they were trained by their fellow friends. And then they start riding on this motorbike. They don't know nothing about road safety. They don't know nothing. They don't even have drivers. How many people are driving cars in Africa that don't even have driver's license? They have not gone through the driving school. How many people are driving those trucks that have not gone through the driving school? Because we take advantage of the corruption and we don't care because they're all, you know what? I can buy the driver's license. I can buy it for my son. I can buy it for my daughter. And then they'll start driving tomorrow. We put aside those serious safety measures. We don't take them seriously. And that is why you see a lot of these accidents happens. And may God rest the soul of all those people that have lost their lives. And I'm not here to blame anybody, but I'm just saying we need to wake up. And please make this video viral. People need to wake up. People need to be very careful. And people need to be cautious. People need to take their lives seriously. If you see something, you're risking your life definitely for sure, and the chances of survival. Why are you going in that for that? You remember, I don't know whether it's Ethiopian airline that aircraft that went up and then went down within few seconds, and it got in a bad accident and everybody perished. I remember, was it that time, or there was this time where a lot of aircraft that make had to be stopped for a while because they needed to be checked to make sure that does not happen again. Why does it not happen with our motor vehicles on the road? We lose so many people on the road accidents than up there in the air. I know some of the accidents, like they just happen like boom, without even knowing, without even danger ahead. It just happens. And I'm not, I know an accident is an accident, but there are those accidents that people can do something about it before it happens. A lot of times I have seen cars back home, even these matatus, you can see properly it is not working. It's a broken vessel. It is so broken, but people are just sitting there and just saying, push it, let's go, keep going. And people are and then the brakes are not even working, but here comes the people, all the passengers are like, Eka free. We just leave it on free. And then you see this bus on a hill going down, the brakes are not working, the driver knows, and the driver is trying the best to do whatever he can to control this bus, and then everybody perishes. There are so many accidents that happens in Africa that should not be happening. There are so many deaths that happen in Africa that should not be happening. There are so many deaths that can be, people can do something about it. You see an accident happen and God forbid, knock on the wood, we are not going to get in an accident. And I pray no more accidents, no more lives will be lost like this. There are so many times I feel like sometimes some people rush their death. Some people call that death. I don't understand. And I hope you know what I'm talking about. There are so many things that happen back home and you're like, oh my God. In this country, what I love about the US It's people take safety very seriously. You see here, even when you are hired in like a supermarket, they teach you and they take you on a training how to lift the boxes, you know, how to lift, how to do this, how to do. They don't mess around. And that is, and even the state comes to inspect a lot of times, a lot of jobs, they come to inspect whether you have done everything the way it's supposed to be done, because they don't mess around with people's lives. How many times we have to do fire drills? Like for me, I told you guys, I am a foster parent. Just because I have a foster child in my house, how many times have I mean, I have to do like a fire inspection or fire something every 3 months. I have to do that fire drill. And you know what? Because I know what is right, even when my supervisor is not here, I have to perform the fire drill. And guess what? I do it the right way, the way it's supposed to be done. I don't just go there to copy and say, okay, it's done. No, I do it the right way because I need to take those things seriously. How many times does the person like this house, it's people, the owners, they come to check it 3 times in a year, every quarterly, they come to inspect and check whether everything is blah 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 blah. A lot of times during the COVID, I have to do the inspection myself of this house. How many times in Africa do you find the homeowner coming, your landlord coming to inspect the home, to see if the property is in a good shape, to see if there's something they need to fix, to see if there's something that need to be done in that home? You don't see that. People check things very, very lightly. And let's not all blame the government all the time. I know we already know the government fails us. We already know that, yes, our government don't do what it's supposed to be done sometime, a lot of times. But listen, there is so much more you can do to prevent and to protect yourself from these kind of accidents. A lot of times you realize, even back home, I mean, like in Africa, when an accident happens, I know 911 takes forever, but you know what? To get there, even when you call a 911, it might not even come. Anyway, when accident happen, people try to save lives. And guess what? So many people die not because of the injuries, but it's because of the way they were handled during the rescue mission. How many people agree with me? You realize this person has been injured, but the way these people other people are trying to save them. They are pulling them like crazy. They are carrying them on their back, running them, trying to save them. And you're like, oh my goodness, it just, guys, I am not perfect and America is not perfect, but such things, you can't see them happening here in this country. My God, people are very careful. I don't know whether this country, they, including even obeying the rules. Like, for example, on the road, here you have to obey the rules, and they know that. They teach you when you're little, and you have to people keep doing it even when nobody is looking. People know in this country, you cannot go trashing, throwing trash all over the place. And it's not because the government is looking or because somebody is watching, but they know, deep down, they know they are not supposed to trash their country. People take responsibility themselves. People take care of things. They don't wait for the government. They don't have the government to blame. And I'm not saying, and again, I'll repeat, America is not perfect, or the first world countries, they're not perfect, but people take things seriously. People don't mess around with safety. People don't mess around with their lives like that. And I am telling you, it is sad. It is sad. When I saw that Mwingi bus, or Mwingi, when I saw that, I felt the need of talking to the people and say, listen, our people, we need to stop messing around with our lives like that. We only have one life to live. We only have one life to live. If you are a passenger, if the driver decides to drive off that bus, come out of the bus. Say, hey, no, you are not going to risk my life. I would rather sleep right here, or rather walk, or go back to wherever I'm coming from, but you'll not risk my life. But people don't look at things that way. People think, oh my God, I don't want to, oh, he can do it. He can, 20, zzz, and then boom. Then let's just, like, oh my God, then it's too late. It's too late. We are losing lives. There are no lifesavers. It's too late. Whoever can run can run. Whoever can be able to save themselves, they can save themselves. It is sad. It is painful. And I feel so bad for all those people that died. I feel bad for their families. It is so much that goes on in Africa. A lot of people lose their lives. It shouldn't be happening. Like, look at those buildings that they collapsed back home. Seriously. You see, somebody constructed a whole 5-story building, up to 5th, 6th floor. They did not even think about the foundation. But guess what? The building just collapsed. How many buildings, like for me, I'm from Kenya, how many buildings have collapsed? Like, seriously, something just comes and trembles, like, so many people die out of this mistake. Because you decided to go for a cheap foundation. You decided to go for a cheap structure. You did not follow what is supposed to be done. You didn't do things the right way from the foundation. And now this building has gone up. You have rented these homes, all these apartments are all rented. You're happy now, you're receiving your pay. But you forgot that that building is not on a firm foundation. Then what happens? It collapses. How many times? You in the US, it cannot happen like that. Here, I know we have some buildings have collapsed or something, but not a lot. Not a lot. I mean, there are so many things that happen back home, and it's time we need to sit down and think. Is it the government or who have a life? Is it the government who is responsible for our lives, or it is us? The things that we can take care of, let's do it. Let's not blame the government anymore. Of course, the government fails us, but there are some things that we can use our brains. We can help it ourselves. We can save some of these lives. Come on, people. We cannot afford to lose more souls. We cannot afford to lose more lives. We cannot afford to do it. There are so many people, there are so many times you hear those cheap alcohol brews. People are selling, like, I know somebody very close to me who lost their eyesight completely just because somebody was cooking that alcohol and decided to put all those bad chemicals. And now this person went, enjoyed that alcohol, and then guess what? This person does not see anymore. His eyesight completely. That was somebody who had a job, somebody who knew what they were doing. But because they trusted somebody to cook the alcohol for them, and this person thought, you know what, this alcohol need to be stronger. They added some dirty chemicals, I guess from the mortuary or something. They added some dirty chemicals, and guess what? That person who was adding those chemicals was not even thinking about the lives of those people who are going to consume that alcohol. How many times has it happened? Like, we have to wait for the police officer to come and chase us out of those alcohol places, those cheap alcohol. You just think about, oh, it's 10 shillings, it's 20 shillings. You're thinking about the money, how much you can save, but you're not thinking about your life. You're not thinking, oh my God, can I die after taking this? Do I even trust this? Does this person, can they pass inspection if it is inspected? You are trying to save money. You don't want to buy the alcohol from the supermarket. You want to buy from another mama down the street because they sell it cheap. I mean, people, come on, we need to wake up. We don't have to wait for the government to start chasing us, the police to chase us, to pour down all this alcohol because it's killing a lot of people. Can you imagine? All this in Africa. You cannot see this kind of business here in America. No. Is it because they can't do it? They can do it. But it doesn't happen. I mean, maybe it happens, but not as much as happens in Africa, for real. How many times when I was back home, that Michuki, we had that Michuki rule, the rule of putting on safety belts. Can you imagine how many people used to run and giving some police officers some money just because they don't want the safety belt in their vehicle is not working? People used to bribe the police Oh, don't check on my vehicle. And then this police, because he's hungry, he takes the money, puts it in the pocket, and then decide, you know what? I'm not going to inspect the vehicle because I have received my 50 shillings. I put it in my pocket. How many times? Why are people risking their lives? You know, people are not crying for others. People don't care about other people. People, they care about themselves only. The greed, and we all put it on poverty and the government. And these are the things we can do then. Think about yourself. Think about, if I consume that alcohol, if I drink that cup of 5 shillings alcohol, will I survive? I mean, like, seriously, there are so many things we put our lives behind, and we put this great, I don't know what to call it. It's so sad. It is so sad. I can't even start counting how many things have happened, and then we start crying, and then we start mourning, and then we start losing our loved ones, and so many things happens in Africa. So many deaths, they happen, and it shouldn't be happening like this. Now, guys, before I get emotional, let me end this video here. God bless you. I love you, all my people, and please take safety precautions serious. Please take care of you. Take care of you. Also, if your friend or your neighbor or that stranger out there, they are getting themselves into a risk, please take 5 minutes of your time and try to educate them. Try to say, hey, can you see the danger? Because I can see the danger, you know, because sometimes we say, oh, those people are not educated. But guess what? There are so many uneducated people who are very smart. You can stop somebody for a minute and say, hey, you know what? Do you see the danger? Because I see the danger. Do you see what's going to happen here? I mean, like, seriously, we need to always, you know, don't be quiet and start waiting and camera recording. No, just take your minute and try to talk to this person and say, hey, you know what? I see trouble. I see trouble. Do you see it? All right. End of the video. God bless you. Take care of yourselves and stay safe, my people. May God help us all. Okay? Bye.